penguin. Please help.
What the fuck?
Help.
Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another retro review for 31 horror toys in 31 days! And today we're going to rewind it all the way back to the year 2000 with a Silent Screamers figure. It's Dr. Caligari. The Caligari from the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Caligari? Dr. Caligari? Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. If you don't know the film, it's a 1920 German silent horror movie. And Mezco, or it's actually, I think it was Aztech Toyz back then, did a series of figures for the silent film horror movies. And this was one of them. They actually, I want to say they had two figures for this film. They had the doctor here, and then they had the hypnotized man. It was a weird film. I remember seeing it in college in film class. He was like supposed to be a psychic or something, and then he was controlling the hypnotized guy. It's a very, very strange film. But at any rate, we get this really cool action figure out of it. Now, originally, he came with part of a set between this figure and the other figure. It kind of built the stage for the silent film. But I found this at a local vintage toy store on the south side of Indianapolis called the Toy Drop. And I didn't pay much for this figure. It was either $5 or $10. I want to say it was $10, not too terribly much. And it's in really, really good shape. So he comes with a little shawl. He's got his top hat. And he's got this little cane here. It's a very stout little figure. I definitely like it. Very cool. It reminds me a lot. Oh, there goes his little cane. It reminds me a lot of the Penguin from the Tim Burton Batman movies, which is very cool. I guess I'll just kind of show the cane off here because it doesn't want to go in his hand right now. So a close-up. It's got this really cool crystal ball. I'm guessing that's how he sees the future. And very neat. And then it's on a very twisted kind of little piece of wooden cane, which is very cool. Nice detail. I like that a lot. Very cool. And then he's got his little top hat right here, which is very cool. Very neat. Looks like somebody tried to glue the hat onto his head at some point. I don't think the hat was supposed to ever come off of the figure, or was supposed to come off the figure. I don't think it was ever supposed to be on there, because there's all kinds of detail on both. So, yeah. That happened at some point in time. And then he's got this little shawl. We'll take the shawl off real quick. So it's this is rubber, which is very cool. It fits very nicely onto the figure. As far as articulation goes on this little fat dude right here, his arms move up and down like that. And that's it as far as articulation goes. But that's not it as far as play gimmick goes. So the gimmick on this figure is he actually splits open. You can take his coat body apart like this, and inside there is, in fact, another figure. Mwahahaha. So yeah, you take this apart right here, and we have another figure inside, and it's basically a bunch of weird and creepy like faces and things and all kinds of stuff. And it's like a straitjacket made out of monsters. Like if Cthulhu was going to have a straitjacket, that's what you would have here. So yeah, that's definitely very cool. Now, the one thing about this figure, unfortunately, it's only got a couple of these little pegs left. They've broken off over the years, it appears, if you look at the little thing. So it's kind of like a pretender shell that way. So I've only got a couple pegs left to keep it together, but yeah, definitely very cool looking, very different, and very fun. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, the sculpt work and paint on this figure is amazing. I love the kind of Shaw hanging over his head, the hat, very Mad Hatter-ish looking, or maybe penguin, the face and jowls, the dirty hair hanging underneath, really does remind me of the Tim Burton penguin, which is very cool. You can tell this took a lot of inspiration from that for this kind of look. But yeah, there's multiple layers of paint on there, some nice black wash. He's got this black rim around the top hat itself. Great detail work. Love the little crystal ball on his cane there. I think that looks cool. The paint and his hair on his face just looks absolutely awesome. You got to kind of lift this up to actually get a good look at the face. But yeah, overall, I think they did a good job. Looking at the midsection of the figure, he's got these nice little kind of gritty gloves going on there, popping out from underneath the shawl. The coat looks nice. I like the paintwork and the detail, the sculpt on the buttons. His cane looks very cool, like an old piece of rotted wood, which is nice. We get kind of a black trim around the shawl there. Again, beautiful detail in the coat. All the paint apps on here. This is one of the best painted figures that I've picked up all season. Absolutely gorgeous, both on the outside and on the inside of the figure once you actually get the play gimmick open up. They just all around did a great job on a very different and unique character out of horror. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure. Not really much legs going on, as it is a bunch of coat, just kind of flowing around all over the place. The little ripples look good. It looks like he's kind of shuffling along, which is very, very cool. I definitely dig that. Kind of opens there, but we really don't see much underneath the coat, which is cool. The cane, I love how it's all just like a twisted, knotted piece of tree that goes down. It's very flat at the bottom, so it stands really well to go into the figure's hand. It's not really meant to keep him upright, but really more of just a prop. So taking a closer look at Dr. Caligari without his coat, it's very, very creepy. I will give it that. Again, I love the detail on the face. Very cool. I think it's very inspired by the penguin with that hair and the kind of ugly face. And he's got like these eyeballs in his shoulders and these bones, eyeballs all over the place, and kind of this muscle tissue and these skeletons just kind of holding his body down into place. Very cool, very neat, very, very creepy, and very Cthulhu-esque, very Lovecraft, which I'm definitely digging. Lots of great paint detail on it, a lot of great sculpture on it. I think they just did a phenomenal job, and this guy is just creepy. I kind of wish, though, the head had some articulation to move left and right, but he doesn't. But with all the detail, I mean, you can't really complain. Now looking at the midsection of the figure, again, lots of eyeballs and muscles and tendrils, bones, just kind of holding it all into place. He's got his hair kind of hanging down, which is cool. Lots of great paint detail, lots of sculpt work on it. I mean, he's just basically a rubber figure here, but the amount of detail just very, very cool, very evil looking, almost Cenobite-like, but very organic and just straight out of hell looking. And finally, looking at the feet uncovered here, he's got these like bones on one side and just like intestines coming around on the other, wrapping around, tying up the feet so he really can't move. Almost like it's its own bones on the one side of the foot, and then we get little bones kind of peeking out like little fingers, got another eyeball back there. Just looks super gross, super creepy. I don't know if they're supposed to be, well, they kind of look like octopus tendrils, actually, rather than intestines, which it kind of gives it that, Lord of the Deep Cthulhu vibe to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? For comparison, here we have Dr. Caligari with the Mohawk Gremlin from Gremlins 2. And as you can see, this is a pretty good-sized figure. There is a lot of volume on this Silent Scream figure, which is very cool. I can definitely get behind that. I really like it. I like the detail. These are probably two of my favorite detailed figures thus far in the 31 Horror Toys in 31 days. And it's nice to be able to pick up a vintage toy that really stands up to a modern figure as far as sculpt and paintwork goes. So is Dr. Caligari of the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I don't even know if I'm still pronouncing that wrong or not. Is he a figure you want in your horror collection? Well, if you're looking at all those old Silent Screamer figures, I think you're going to want this. He was probably one of the cooler of them that I was looking at online. If you like kind of oddball, out there horror toys, this might be something that you're after. If you like the Movie Maniacs line from McFarlane Toys, I think this is something that you might get behind, this whole series. They're very well done, very well sculpted, and I think they were really kind of meant to go along and compete with that toy line, and it really does work with it, I think. So if you like those, I think you're going to like this series of Silent Screamers. So there he is, Dr. Caligari. Caligari? We're going to go with Caligari for 31 Horror Toys in 31 days!
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.